game's for big people.
You can't say
Favorite
glass hearts in
RPG
public.
Maker game, go. Mine is Aoni.
Ugh. Mine is Senpou 4. No more Senpou.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that's a really good pick, actually.
Okay.
Like, wow, I didn't think you'd come up with that,
Okay, shut
actually. Okay, Zach, your turn.
Probably like Krusty Towers or something.
Oh, that's a good one. Good one. Why are you looking at me like that?
Krusty Towers. Oh,
Yeah, Jesse, you're always giving me a look in every situation wherein you're. Yeah. What? Remember one time? We were just sitting. We were like waiting for someone inside. We were just like sitting on chairs outside.
Oh, easy.
And he was staring at me, and I go, "What?" And he goes, you have a really easy face to look at, man."
no, I said you're easy to rest my eyes upon. Because
That was like a kindness.
How is
this? How is
you're
this
like
rude?
a neutral person. You're like,
does that
okay,
mean?
I can look at you and I won't feel anything.
You're just easy to rest my eyes on, man.
Easy to rest my eyes upon.
Great job, Blake. Now give me a car. You said you had a car.
Where's the
You said you had a
unnecessary
car?
sex scene? Well, in my book, it would be the necessary sex scene.
I remember last time, oh.
Whoa,
You almost ran into that
almost
trap there.
That was
You
my
almost-
own trap.
You almost
Oh,
killed
how
yourself.
silly me.
Last time. Oh my goodness. What the fuck was
The
he
big
doing?
palooka.
What was he was
Chainsaw.
waiting for you.
Whoa, he just took a shotgun
Whoa,
to the face.
dude.
This
Anyways, I
guy is a
remember
bit
last
more than
time-
you asked for.
They're called the leader's called Glassjaw or whatever, and that was a band I knew, and I was curious about the term because of that, because there were two things that were called it but they were different things, and I found out it was a boxing term, and I thought about that the other day, and I was like, wait a minute. In Punch Out, the first opponent is Glass Joe. That's a
Yeah,
pun.
Glass Joe.
That's a Glass Joe. Get it? Because Glass Jaw is you got a weak jaw in boxing.
Glass
and
Joe,
you get got.
his entire body is weak. Because he's Joe.
But it also sounds like Glass Jaw.
Yeah.
All I did was spray. Ooh!
Is this the big epic raid boss that you need to gear up for? And
Yeah, it has bull mechanics.
Then, and then we go like, all right, guys, let's form the plan. I can use my ability and
Big
distract them out
Palooka.
back. Yeah, Sam, you rush ahead and distract the enemies for me. Zack, you go around the back and backstab them, and I will use my super epic abilities to buff up the team before we
And
get this started.
you just be yourself.
What's this guy's name?
The big palooka.
Big
Well,
Palooka.
I was gonna end that with a Leroy
this guy,
Jenkins
they,
joke.
they have such cool. They have the glass hearts. They got Glass Jaw running it, and they got Big Palooka.
So is
If
this
I was the guy who had to be called Big Palooka, I'd just shoot myself there.
choose the boss?
Oh my god, that's so fucking
morbid.
visceral. Oh my goodness.
That's so
Imagine dying like
contrasting
that.
to
That's so
everything
crazy.
else I've seen
But
in this game.
I mean, he was the Big Palooka.
He was the big palooka, and he was gonna
Having
get
a name
me.
like that, he deserved it.
I was gonna ask about
in
that
the glass
machine.
hearts.
I was gonna go like, there's a level in Doom where there's a crusher like that instantly kills enemies.
Glasses. There's also a level in Bloons like that.
Oh yeah, that's
Glass
and
is
it's a
cool,
junkyard too, just like
Glass
this.
is a cool word to put onto things, and it makes it. Actually, no, Jaw is
Yeah.
Glass Jaw. There's
but it could have been like steel jaw or something.
Wow.
Jawbreaker,
Zach, you won.
Jawbreaker, yeah.
Let's go to main menu.
Tiger's Jaw, Jaw Box, Glass
Jaw
Jaw.
Biden.
Those are all
Jaw Biden.
Jaw Biden. Anyways, those four things I
Joe
named, they're all
Biden.
bands, and they're all adjacent.
Was the 46th
They're all like
president
punk adjacent
of the
bands.
United States.
And I think they're commonly confused for each other because their names have jaw in it, and I think it's so fucking ridiculous.
So, gear up, Zach. Put on your safety goggles. You're gonna try and beat.
That's my safety goggles.
Oh, his injury's better
He's
now.
healing.
Well, I wouldn't assume he'd just leave it out all bloody like that, so...
I forgot who that is. Why is he injured and crippled?
The last time we were here,
That's
last
gone,
time
Batman.
on Fallen Aces, we ran away in a car chase and he got shot.
So who is that guy on the wheelchair and why?
Oh, that was
It's this
Blanca.
guy's friend, and he supplied us with a car.
Okay, so this game is woke because there's disabled people in the game.
I guess it is.
Am I
Yeah, this is a woke
picking
game.
that up correctly?
I bet these people, they'd hate it if you were gay, though, Jesse.
If I see a woman, I'm just going to cream this game apart.
Uh-oh.
What does that
He's not gonna like this next one.
Because we can't have women in video games. It's
They
woke.
belong in the kitchen.
Yeah, It's woke.
Like, get back to that burger, bitch.
Well, remember that video? Remember, it was the music. Play that music where then the comment says, "I'm starting to have flashbacks to when women used to make sandwiches."
That's so true.
And if you remember the song, it's like,
It's the
oh, I remember that now.
yodeling.
That was it was like the, here, if we can find it, I'd like you to play it on screen right now.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to
And that
remember.
reminds me of this other one. It was
Okay.
2015 best hard music 2015,
Best
and it was
hard
the
music?
yodeling kid.
It's
like-
exact. You're thinking of the exact same thing right now.
Oh, it is. That's the
Yeah.
comment in that video.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my worlds
hard
the
music.
worlds have collided. my brain. I can't take this information. I'm gonna pass out now.
Okay, cutscene, guys, sit down and watch. It's like we're watching a
Yes,
movie.
this is kind of like a movie.
Lighter,
Cutscenes in this game
smoking.
are good.
last cigarette.
Sweet old time about it. Don't like that.
Oh,
Cherry is a sure
oh.
That's good, Jesse.
I was testing the audio of the microphones. That was all.
Jesse, what if you had a cigarette?
I would throw it away because I don't smoke.
What if you had 500 cigarettes?
I would throw 500 cigarettes away because I don't smoke and it's not healthy.
Is this guy eating
And I think
dog
whoever is
food?
giving me these cigarettes needs to go off and go shoot
How
themselves.
long do you think, like people born now, how long do you think their lifespan's gonna be compared to like the elders of today, right?
I don't know. It depends on where they live. If they live here,
Like in our
it's gonna be
region,
less.
wealthy white America.
They're gonna live
WWA.
to 60. Wait, those police aren't
Live to
real?
60 on those burgers. That's what you get for stolen land.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is the history of our country
A
kind of,
bit fucked.
kind of like, guys? I don't think
I don't
we're
know, guys.
the good guys.
I feel like
Are we the
some of the
bad
stuff
guys?
we did
Are we
isn't
the,
that good.
Are we the bad
This
guys?
is stupid. Shut up.
I think we're the bad guys.
I think our ashes have fallen.
Wow. Or maybe they weren't aces. They were jokers all along. I think that was a really good one. You got that one goes up on the fridge. Come on.
What
We'll put that up on the fridge.
What card was there?
Huh?
What cards are there?
Oh, there's like
There's aces,
like
clubs,
playing
diamonds,
cards.
and hearts.
There's like
Candyland
There's like
cards.
cards mail cards.
Ah,
letters,
holster is H.
Postcards. Those are it.
Oh.
There's
Pokemon
there's
cards.
there's like a thank you card.
and a good night card that you give to your family. You give to your
Imagine
family
we lived
every
in a
night.
world where every night you'd have to write everyone a good night card before bed.
Yeah, it's like you're in a boarding school, and that's the procedure.
People who live in a boarding school for like as a substitute for high school, I couldn't imagine that. That sounds so bad.
Remember, I wonder how Pope Elementary is doing.
Oh, that was your
That was my old
Florida
school in
your Florida elementary story.
I remember I
That was
tried to
school, but
look it up one time, but I just couldn't find it. And I was like, I swear it was called...
That's the one with the donut story, right?
Yeah, the donuts. They would have Donut Fridays every Friday.
And what happened with the donut
Oh,
Fridays?
I had a
Tell-
really-
tell the donut story.
Okay.
Yeah, what happened
donut
during
story.
Donut Friday?
So every Friday at Pope Elementary, you would bring like $1. You'd bring like $1, and then you'd get a donut. It was just a creamy glaze, a standard Krispy Kreme glazed donut. So my sister and I went there every day on Friday to get a donut. She brought her money. She had like a $20 or a $5 bill or something, but she lost it along the way. And I was like, well, that's a shame. So I had to buy her one myself, and I did that. But as it turns out, over the intercom, turns out someone stole that $5 bill or something. Because on the intercom, one of the faculty was like, we'd like to give a special thanks to our new student, Jeremy. He found a $5 bill and returned it to his friend. He didn't take the money for himself, he gave it to his friend because his friend lost the $5 bill. And it was like, that was definitely the same $5 my sister had.
How do you know? How do you know it was though? What if it wasn't?
Because I talked to Jeremy and I said, hey,
You did not. This is where the reality is mixed with fiction here. Jesse, you're a really good storyteller. You're mixing reality with fiction here. I'm like, whoa, what's real at this point? Am I real? What's going on?
This is so dumb, Sam.
What do you mean?
You're real.
You started lying.
I'm not lying.
You did not talk to
I
Jeremy.
did talk to Jeremy.
No,
You did not
didn't.
talk to Jeremy.
You did
I
not.
don't believe you.
Well, fact of the matter is, I have a pretty good hunch that $5 bill was my sister, and the guy just took it from her, then said, "Oh, here's it. I'll give it to my friend." And then the worst part is, he got free donuts all year for that good
Year?
deed.
Oh my god, that's excessive.
Well, it's like one.
That just rubs it in. at
One
that
every
point.
Friday.
yeah.
I had an equivalent in my old elementary school. It was once a month. It was like it was snow cone day,
Oh.
and just outside the cafeteria they have this crappy old little, because it was a pretty small elementary school.
Snow cones.
There weren't a lot of kids there, but it was like they had a little crappy stand there, and like you'd give $1 and you get a snow cone. I remember one time I lost my dollar. And I couldn't find it. And my teacher gave me one of her own dollars, and I thought that was so nice. It's a core memory. And it was blue. The dollar was like blue. I don't know what happened to it. It was tinted
What?
blue.
A blue
Like a
dollar?
Canadian like Monopoly money
Like a
dollar.
euro?
No, like it was a.
Or is it
like-
blue
Like
dye?
it was rusted copper.
What if she infected you with a parasite and now
What
she's
if there was
seeing through
mold
your eyes
growing
right
on
now?
that dollar?
Well, the dollar worked, and I got my snow cone.
Well, maybe she was just trying to get rid of that dollar, and that was her excuse. She was like,
Maybe.
you know, no one else is gonna get this off of me.
You know, that teacher, or like my parents, they used to joke that I was the reason that she retired, because
What?
the year after I
Don't
had
tell
her,
me you were a demon child.
the year after I had her, she retired. But well, I guess I kind of was in this. I have ADHD, but when I was a kid, it was a lot more
A lot more prevalent. A lot
lot
more,
more
imposing.
Let's just say he was
Unruly.
bouncing
Let's
off
just
the
say
walls.
you were
I was bouncing off
unruly.
the walls. But yeah, I don't remember how bad I was. I don't have any first-person experience that I remember without it being just like, because I don't remember myself being that bad.
Okay, Zach, what are you doing in the game now? You're in a house? You're in a villa?
He's in the big mansion, the Glass Hearts Manor.
That is a fun set piece. You're in a house.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen those before.
This is
but
kind
like
of like
Breaking Bad.
Payday.
It's like, there were houses in Breaking Bad, I'm pretty sure.
And the pizza on the roof.
Yeah, and there's
There's a lot of iconic
There's
moments.
a bomb, and you tie a bomb.
And then there's a fly, you gotta get the fly.
Yeah, I was like 20 episodes into Breaking Bad, and I was one away from striking gold, and it was the fly episode.
What?
Oh, it was a really funny meme I found. It was like the keep gambling meme with the people mining and the wall of diamonds.
No
and then
fly
it was
episode,
like
fly
the
episode.
caption was
I
I stopped Breaking Bad 25 episodes
I
in.
remember it.
That's a funny one, because it makes you look up what's the 26th episode. It's
it was
the fly.
The Fly.
And that's a really funny meme.
It's like the Great Divide of Breaking Bad.
Great Divide.
You know the Great Divide.
I know that it's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar
the Great
filler
Divide.
episode.
Is it just like the Great Divide?
No, the
or
fly.
Is it just like...
It's the worst rated, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, the Fly is
It's because
definitely
it's-
nothing happens in it.
But it's symbolic. It's symbolic, dude.
There's symbolism,
It's
but
symbolic of like
nothing-
Walter's journey.
nothing truly happens in the Fly. That's why
Well,
people don't like
Walter
it.
takes a big tumble.
It should. Yeah, he tries to use his staircase, and then he sees the Fly in his house at the end of the episode, and it's like, whoa, his drug life is going into his home. Whoa.
Whoa, what is this? It's like this is like double meanings.
I
Whoa.
do like when Walter was like a Professor Psychotic type, where remember at the end of season 1 when he went to do the drug deal, and then he was like, this is actually a secret
And then he walks
chemistry
away. He
trick,"
walks
then
away
it
and
blows
it
up.
explodes in the background.
Like, he just created some bullshit using science, and I thought that was
Mr.
funny.
Science.
It's like the power of science.
That's a real thing, though. Like people who are like chemists. If chemists were evil, they could do some really fucked up shit.
Chemistry is an evil.
They could like definitely kill a whole household and make it untraceable.
Just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun.
Just for kicks.
That's how they get their sick kicks.
When you think of the name Walter, what do you think of? I think of
What
Walter
does it
Clement's dog.
symbolize?
I think of Walter Clement's dog.
That used to be your Minecraft
I
skin.
definitely think of Walter White first, but I do.
Oh, you're a
I
lesser
do-
being than me.
No, Clement's dog is like a close second.
I don't.
I
think
like
of
fire trucks and Moster trucks.
I don't think of that
You're
dog.
right.
Walter. What's a fun name? Hey Sam, I have a challenge for you. Come up with like a name that would be a character in Fire Emblem that's like a medieval name. Not like medieval, but like
Walter.
but like fictional name that could be a character in Fire Emblem that's unique. Go, you have 10 seconds.
Farvus.
Jericho.
That's a wrestler.
No, it's an old city. It's an ancient city.
Jericho?
Yeah, Jericho.
Well, I like coming up with names that don't mean anything.
Well, it technically doesn't mean anything. Okay, let me
Well,
think again. Let me
listen.
think again.
Listen, when you hear names that
Lake.
get this, when you hear names, you think, how much thought really went into naming this character someone made up? Like, is there symbolism behind this name, or
You're
did they
right,
just
actually.
come up with a cool word and they was like, that's a cool name.
I've seen like writers complain about that, where like
That's a cool name. I'm just gonna
no
call
complain
him.
about that in the sense that like they're always really bad with coming up with names, and it's such a stressful part for them, which is funny.
Because there's a lot to the
There's
name.
a lot to think about in something that you really don't think about too much when consuming it.
Like, you see the name Kuno. Kuno.
Kuno?
What does Kuno mean?
I bet.
Bear.
Then you made up.
Kuno doesn't mean anything.
Here's my real my new Fire Emblem name.
Okay.
Katana.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, they don't make it two sisters. And they're
Anna.
Cat and Anna. No, I would make a
Wario.
I would make a character called Kuno, and he's an archer.
Marth.
And he's like Naomi and Crybaby, and he's an archer.
Arvis.
And it's
that's,
like, wow.
That's genealogy.
Arvis.
Yeah.
Arvin,
Genealogy.
maybe.
Marvin.
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 Marv.
Morvin.
Marv.
Marv. What about Marge?
That's a thief from Home Alone.
There was a GBA boss, and his name was Bool. I remember that.
Yeah.
Reda
I
Bro.
remember. Reda Bro. That's a Who Watches Game Shows reference for all you.
Yukel.
Yukel. Urkel.
You'll never know
Urkel.
how I came up with Yukel.
Marge.
Ow.
Ukulele.
When Sam said ukel, he slowly turned his head to the right, and there's a ukulele placed right next to him. Oh, that's funny. You're so funny, Sam. How about Keeb?
Keeb? I thought you were about to say Keith.
Keeb. Keith? I
No,
feel like
Keeb is not it.
there is a character named Keith in Fire Emblem.
What about
somewhere.
Kebaro? Kebaro.
Kebaro?
I could see it.
what about Doge?
Dude, that's sick.
You should name a government
That's like
organization
so much
after
epic.
that. And then make government. Put it in the government. and make
I'm just a
merchandise.
Kennegae.
What else?
Stallion.
Oh, that's just a horse.
No,
That's
he
just a
rides the
horse.
horse.
What? Do we live in Centaur world? Is this Shining Force
No,
now?
it's he on top of horse.
Shining...
What the hell is this music for this man shuffling?
Whoa! This is a scary fight. What
He
was
just threw something at me.
That was funny. It just flew past you.
I can't like make too much noise. I don't want to kill him.
Whoa! Is this a stealth mission?
Yeah.
Oh, so okay. This is the annoying stealth chapter of the game. It seems.
Oh, oops.
Why did he scream when he was killed? He was unconscious already.
I didn't mean to kill him.
Whoops! So that
Whoops.
just happened.
Just hurry up and check the house. Oh, damn thing's gone belly up already.
It's going belly up.
You are so bad at this game, Zack.
You failed the mission, and you're stupid, and we're all gonna
You could have
pee on
just
you
knocked
when
him
you're
out.
asleep.
You could have just knocked him out.
I couldn't have just knocked him out.
Why
Unzip
not?
our pants and let loose.
Yeah, let's play a game where we unzip our pants.
No, I don't want to do that.
Maybe we will. Let's play one day. Maybe one day.
Oh, I thought that was something I could check.
Maybe we'll
That's
play
just a
House
light.
Party one day. I wish there were more games like House Party where it's funny.
God.
like even if it's just a porn game, House Party was funny. Very funny.
Your favorite comedy porn
It's
game.
a comedy porn
Yeah.
game is the thing, though.
You need to have
Okay,
gameplay.
dude.
to
Maybe
back
I
it up.
misjudged you.
You need to have gameplay to back up your game.
I remember there was
or you need comedy
there
to
was
back
one
up
of, on
your
one of the
game.
side quests to get one of the girls. I think you had to get Frank to give you a condom, and he wouldn't give you a condom
Unless you proved you weren't
proved that
gay.
you weren't gay. So what you do is you make one of the girls at the party. You make her give you a blowjob and have Frank walk in on it.
Yeah, you have
and
to
then
go,
he
like-
just talks to you while it's happening, like, oh man, suppose I misjudged you, dude.
Yeah, you have to
Here you
schedule
go, man.
Frank where he's like, Frank, meet me in 5 minutes. You have to like do that thing, and then you have to set up the blowjob. You
have to set up the blowjob
specifically
perfectly.
in one of the rooms.
And there's a button.
All of that for
there's a button that
condom.
lets your wiener out, right?
That's
and
funny.
if you have the
Every
out,
character has
if you have it out
dialogue.
in front of your friend character who goes, "What the hell, man? I
Nice-
thought you were cool."
Nice job on the shaping. He says something like that.
Really? I don't remember that. I just remember him freaking out and like, man, I thought we were cool.
Derek, I think.
What if you were at a? What if you
name.
invited your friend to a party and he walked out with his penis out? I'd be like, dude, you're breaking my
Dude,
trust right now.
Whoa!
And
that-
imagine if
I'd
you
go
thought
like,
he was cool.
Whoa, that isn't entirely appropriate.
Like, this is not the setting to do that,
Please
man.
put that away.
Even
There's
though
a time
this
and
is a
place
house
for
party,
mucking around.
this isn't. You know. I love House Party, man. It's a
Something that's really funny about that game
what?
is that
This must be close.
it's such a small party.
There's
And
like 5 people.
There's like 5 people there
And
because
one
they
of-
made every person there be like a real like quest line or whatever. Or, like they made it like
Then
all
there's
interlinked,
one person and
right?
her sister.
But by doing that, the party is so small. It doesn't feel like it feels so wrong. Like this is like if this is the kind of party that your friends like Derek, your friend, is inviting you to. I don't know why I remembered his name.
And then two
Then like I don't know, man. I'd call off that friendship right then and there.
two of those
Yeah, he doesn't have
characters
enough.
are
He's like
just
not popular
the
enough.
homeowner and her sister. That's already 2 characters.
And then there's the smart girl.
Patrick was the dude nobody invited.
The dude, no, he was like someone's cousin or something, and he showed up for booze. Yeah, dude.
And then Frank was there and he took away the
Frank
booze.
was
and
there,
it
and he
was
took
like,
away the
whoa.
booze. Dude, I'm straight edge. Can't stand assholes
If we're
who get
playing
drunk
House
at
Party
parties.
right now, it would be so funny.
And then there was the smart glasses girl, of course.
You might actually have a brain in there. I remember that was her quote.
The party girl,
Then you had Vicky, who you had
the
to
party
invite.
girl, and then the girl, the big booby girl. There was a girl in a room whose quest line you had to. No, that dress looks good on you.
Oh yeah, like the Western girl who's like, my bra isn't big enough
Yeah.
for this. Then there was Vicky, who was like a secret character who you had to take someone's phone and then like hack into their calls and like call them over to the house.
And there was also these 2 new other characters. They arrived on a hot air balloon, believe it or not.
Yeah, and it's like I didn't entirely know who they were. It was weird. Like they were.
I think your shirt may give us some hints.
Slumber
Maybe.
party.
He's wearing a Game Grumps shirt right now.
I am wearing a Game Grumps shirt. I went on a cruise and I wore my Game Grumps shirt around, and
Guess what kind of shirt Zach is wearing?
2
right now?
people complimented my Game Grumps shirt, and one of them was
Soccer.
a grown man with children.
That lines up. Anyways, Zach's wearing a 2012 soccer shirt from when he was kid. I
Yeah,
think it's his brother's.
Zach hasn't grown
No,
up
this
at
is
all.
mine. For sure.
Oh, well, it still fits, which is crazy.
Yeah,
In
Zach,
2012, that's how many years ago was that?
That's,
13.
I think.
You're like 5'5".
I'm 5'6".
Yeah, close enough.
What was it?
Yeah, whenever I'm
72?
standing next to Zach, I'm be like, whoa, did someone, whoa, did there was an earthquake? I just got raised a bit. Whoa, what's going on?
I've got something to complain
Because
about.
I'm so tall.
I had something happen to me that's like something Larry David would write into a show. Where on the cruise ship, it's a packed cruise. It was so annoying with how many people there were. But every time I used the elevator, like every time to get out of the elevator, there were people standing right in front of it. Like not throughout the entire course of the cruise, no one learned to don't stand right in front of the
Here's my
elevator right
pal.
before it opens because
Cruises, things like cruises.
people come out every time.
They're such, to me at least, they're such eye openers to the fact that so many people are just dickheads and they don't care and they're not just like they don't have decency a lot of the time. They
Yeah.
just do whatever the fuck they
Oh, I
want.
forgot I had this.
I remember when I went on like the first cruise I went on. I was like 16, and the other kids on the cruise. They have these things that set up for you guys to socialize.
Oh,
They're like,
really?
This is the kids corner.
The kids
and then
socialization.
the teen hangout. Me and my older brother, we went there, and it was so. they they were.
This would make the average high-blind
Kids are so mean. They're so not epic and awesome.
Wait, there's more here.
What would happen was they'd roam around in gangs and like be menaces on stairways and like scream and shit. And we didn't fuck with that, and we ended up just hanging out with each other instead. And then we looked like social outcasts. But no, we're
You were
just
the normal
we're too
people.
good for them. Okay, we're not gonna be
Can
we're not gonna be running around filming pranks.
Can I explain something?
There was
that
I saw.
happened?
I'm not even joking. It's not like
Okay.
there was like one kid was like filming the other person doing a prank on
A
someone.
prank?
It was some bullshit. I don't know. Like go like, hey, you, blah blah blah. Like just being an asshole.
Look, your shoes untied. Look. Okay, let me explain something. So on the cruise I went on, I explored around on my own, and I went to the arcade, and there was only like me and like a kid there, and I looked at he was like young, he was like 12 or so, and he was playing with his fingers. I kind of clocked he probably was autistic because of his mannerisms, and his shirt said what the Sigma, and Sigma was in yellow text, and that was his shirt. So I walked up to him and I said, "That's an epic shirt," and I went like up top and gave him a high five.
That's epic, Jesse.
And
You're going in the Hall of Fame.
That
for
was the end of that interaction, but I know I definitely probably made his day.
That's good. You always that's a very nice thing to do. Or just it's
He was pretty awkward though.
it's a feel good moment.
I gestured my hand, and he was cautious and reserved.
That happens, but you can live with yourself knowing that you made a positive impact. It was
I
good,
think
wholesome.
he probably would remember that for the rest of his life.
Well, I don't know the rest of his life, but I mean, for the rest of the cruise, it'll be like, I remember that guy
then-
with the Game Grumps shirt gave me a high five.
I was wearing that day, but I didn't.
Oh my
I don't
God.
think he would know it was the Game Grumps. Well, there was also one time I was on an elevator, and there were three 15-year-olds,
Oh, brother.
and then the elevator was stopping because it stops for the floor because someone called for it, and it was just me in there. Then those three kids walked in and they said, "I don't know where this is going, but let's go on." And then when it was going up, and then so I crossed my arms and I was like, "So you kids don't know where you're going?" Very bold move, all of you. I said something like that.
That's like scary.
What did they do? What was their reaction?
Well,
Could you
they
what-
laughed. I was funny.
Oh.
I was funny about it, and we had
my
some
God.
fun conversation. And they were like, "Where am I
I
from?"
thought you said that and then it was done.
And then you walked
and then,
away.
And then I walked off.
No, the elevator's closed. You can't leave.
Yeah.
Very bold move.
I'd be like the Subway Slammer. Have you, Zack?
What?
Have you heard about the Subway Slammer?
Oh God.
No, I don't actually. I have not heard about the Subway Slammer.
The Subway Slammer. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Oh my God.
So there's this Persona 5 gotcha game, and it's like, okay, it's a fucking gotcha game.
I think
No
I
one-
remember this, but I don't remember.
No one
listening to
cares
the whole
about-
thing.
I think you
Gotcha.
told it to us yesterday.
you
when
did.
we were
I
all
knew I told it
talking.
to Sam.
But I don't
didn't
remember
know about
it, so
Zack.
it don't matter.
I didn't know about Zack. Oh, you already know. This is dumb.
No, I remember you telling me it. I don't remember the story.
But they introduced a villain who rams into people on the subway, and that's his entire thing. And there's a funny animation where he's like shoulder bashing the camera, and it's slow motion and poorly animated, and it's really funny. And that's just the main villain of the first part of the game, the Subway Slammer, and it's so funny.
I'm the Subway Slammer.
It's
Does he
like-
like push people into the train?
Well,
or does he just do that for
He just
fun?
rams into people for fun, and then one character like steps in. He's going after someone, and then one girl like steps in front of the victim, where she's like, "No, ram into me instead," that kind of thing. And then she flies off over the guardrails and then into the train track. And then the train's about to come,
Wait.
and then the Subway Slammer's like, "Not my fault." That's the
that
You
bullshit?
gotta
Was it
find
like the
clip.
first like main villain of Persona 5? It was like an abuser
pedophile
teacher.
And then in the
And
gotcha
then,
game,
the,
it's the
and then
Subway
it's the
Slammer.
Subway Slammer, and they're held as equals.
Well, I mean, it's a scare. I mean,
It's scary.
I'd be pretty
real.
scared
I'd
if
be
the guy,
pretty- yeah,
if the guy
if
like
I saw the
shoved me
Subway
into the subway
Slammer-
tracks.
I would be pretty scared.